All right, welcome to this walkthrough, a Design with Me session. So the goal here is for me to give you a taster of what really happens in the background of you actually working as an instructional designer of learning experience designer. So today I'll take you with me in a workshop redesign exercise and project that I'm working on right now. And I'll be pausing the video, doing things, and then showing you the progress, any tips along the way. So you can use the chapters happening there. You can ask questions in the comments. So it will show you a little bit the backstage of learning design. All right, so a quick overview of the project, just so you have some context. So the goal of this workshop is to help a team of leaders in a software company reimagine the future of the education experience that they are offering to learners. So it's not just the learning experience, but it's the overall journey from discovering a course offering to actually enrolling to then taking the learning experience and then showing completion and then continuously learning. So this was initially a workshop that I had worked on and designed alongside a colleague who's also a content developer, but recently got some feedback. And now the goal is to actually redesign based on the feedback. So I will show you what goes into it, what artifacts go into the process of designing a workshop. There is a side to workshop design that's logistical. Sometimes you get to do it as an instructional designer and other times you don't. Maybe you have an executive assistant that can help, a program manager, someone in charge of any logistics. So that I can show you even the email that I have put together to help to work with that person to do that for me. So I don't have to worry about that. So without further ado, I'll just go ahead and show you first where I am right now. So first, the first artifact you have in a workshop is what we call workshop micro timing. This is a very important artifact. It might seem a little bit too superficial or not that useful, but it's actually a very useful asset that helps you break down every single moment in that workshop experience where you have to set context, walk people through exercises and things like that. So usually you want to start with it before designing any slides or any facilitator guides and things like that. And other times you do it concurrently as you are designing the flow, all the content. So as you can see, I have a lot of comments here and there. So I'm going to first see what changes are asked for me, and then I will implement them here. And then I will go to my slide deck where I will be making changes as well based on those comments. As I am doing this, so I'm going to be back and forth between the Excel and the slide deck. And as I am doing it, I'm going to pause and show you what tips I have for you, whether it's from a design perspective or strategic perspective, or what goes into a workshop in general. So you can see the chapters in the YouTube video to help you with that. All right, so I'll dive a little bit and then we'll be right back. Okay, so welcome back to the video. I have spent the whole day working on this workshop, and I wanted to first go over usually what a workshop includes if you are designing. So first, it's always great to have an introduction, an overview of what you're about to do, some ground rules, guiding principles, and some principles that you want to brainstorm on so that everybody is in touch with what you are about to work on. And usually you have one thing you want everybody to be working on, so it's an overarching, we call it a how might we statement or a design challenge. Then you want to explain what is the underlying approach that will make us think today, and then other things that are going to prepare your audience to address and be active participants in this challenge. And so you want to make sure they know what are the outcomes of your workshop and anything that could help them very early on. So let's say any assets, any research, any insights, anything that came out of another project or something that was moved from another period of time. So you can see here I have past research, I have learning experience needs, I have personas, overview. And then you want to then make maybe anything that will get them excited or energized. So usually you want them to think about what's possible, get some inspiration from the outside world. So you can see here I have some examples. I have always reflection moments in between. It's very important to pause and get people to give you input, so you're not just going wildly. And obviously, usually workshops involve many people, so you want to break them down into multiple teams, whether this is a virtual workshop or this is an in-person workshop. And then you give them the first tasks that they would be doing per team. So you give them an overview of what's the task, and then you get them to do the task. So I always tag the things that they would do in groups, in breakouts, whether it's in person or virtual, with this term activity. So you can see I have step 1, step 2, and then you can see each step has an overview of what we are about to do, and then here is a time for them to do it. Of course, some timings are never perfect, so you will always have to improvise on the spot, but you always want to estimate time to be at the maximum possible. So you see I have here these in red because this is my first time doing a workshop of this kind, and I need to think a little bit about how much time do I need to give people. So the second thing I wanted to show you is about breaking things down. You want to make sure that everything is flowing well. So you want to always break things down, have a lunch. If it's too much, you need to a day 2. And so at the end, I have a section about validation, and then a game plan, so to get people to prioritize, plan. And I use a template from AppHaus that I will show you in a moment. And then the other thing that I did is I set up some Zoom whiteboards. You can use Miro, you can use Confluence whiteboards, you can use FigJam, but here I'm using Zoom whiteboards because we have Zoom available, and you can see all the steps that I have in the workshop are here. So step 1, you will do this. Here is the topic, here are the personas, here is some existing content you can work with. Then here is step 2, which is your first exercise. Then here is step 3, step 4. So everything is mapping to the flow of the workshop. So I'll move this a little bit up. And then I have another board set up for the prioritization. So you can see I have here some open frames where we'll just take post-its and start putting some final ideas or solutions we want to implement. Oops, just to escape. And I'll put my post-its here. Same thing here, you see the game plan. This is I highly recommend you to leverage AppHaus. AppHaus. This is a very nice toolkit that helps you like templatize a few things, running workshops. So if you want people to innovate, deliver solutions, so discover challenges, they have multiple techniques. So you can pick a technique, and then once you click on it, you can access a lot of materials. If I were to see here, vision board, you can see, then you have an overview of what is this, when to use this template, how to use it, and then the template itself, you can always take a screenshot. So that's what I did. I just downloaded the screenshots and I added them here in the board. This is where we use game plan as a way for us to prioritize. It's a very nice template to get people to agree on objectives, success criteria, vision, challenges, actions. And here is my deck, my final deck that I went through. So you can see I made a lot of changes. I always link to the micro timing because it's an important aspect of the overall experience here. Anybody who is collaborating with me, they need to access the micro timing, which is in this Excel. I am yet to update the start and end dates. I usually update them with ChatGPT. But you can see here that you have the agenda. I'll just walk you through it. I have ground rules. I have some other ground rules. I have guiding principles, assumptions, the challenge of the workshop as mentioned. You always want the challenge to have a how might we, and then you want to express why you're doing it and what's the current opportunity or challenge. So these are multiple things to set things up. Here is a video that's really cool that talks about design thinking, bad e-learning, open share, some quotes, some past research, learner personas, and some examples from the industry to get people excited. I'll just get through this very quickly. Learning academies. These are all examples. Then an open share is always good to stop after a long section and then ask people what do they think, what stands out for them. Then you break the people into teams, and you always get people to know like which team they belong to. This is where you tell them that there is a Zoom whiteboard or any whiteboard that you will be doing all the exercises in. And then so step 1, immerse yourself in the problem space. I'll just call it problem space. Then topic focus, then we give them a breakout. I always have the timings here at the top. By the way, if you're in Google Slides and you're looking for icons, you can go under the icon, start, and then just take the icons and drop them here. So it's helpful if you're trying to make things visual and cute, like me. Step 2, imagine the future learning experience. These are steps. I have some important things I want people to keep in mind, some steps for them to follow for each thing, some examples. It's always good to give them examples and show examples so people know what to expect and to which level of fidelity you want them to work, because everything is time boxed, and the more you have activities that are time boxed, the better, because when you time box activities, you are in a state where you get people to think and make decisions fast, and they need to know what is the outcome of that activity. So same step 3, I give them things to go through, and then I won't go into the details, but this is the end where I'm giving them some things to do for planning, and everything is in that Zoom whiteboard I showed you, which is this one where we have 2 brainstorm activities and the game plan template. And then here we go. This is it. So always at the end of workshops, I like to ask people to do what I call a feedback activity. So it's called I like, I wish, I wonder. So I get people to share what they liked most, what they wished was there, what they are wondering about this experience. And you can do it in an actual board or in a whiteboard before people leave the room. If it's in person, they would put post-its there. And so if you are trying to get into the learning experience design field, wanting to hone in your skills as an instructional designer, or you're a teacher trying to transition into the field of instructional design or L&D in the corporate world, or you're from another field of design and want to merge into the learning design space, so I have some free resources for you that you can download in the description below. There is the LXD process roadmap that you can download, and there is the ID LXD interview prep guide that you can also download. So in case you're about to take some interviews, this has a lot of nice questions. I have around like 800 people that have taken this, and a lot of them landed their dream jobs. So hopefully that's helpful for you, and I'll see you in another video. Check out other videos in this playlist around instructional design and learning experience design, and I wish you the best in your journey, your career and life journey. Thank you.